Hi, Tom Kendall from the Permaculture Research Institute Sunshine Coast on our property Humanure, a place with a demonstration site, and we have people come and volunteer. We have quite a few people on the property at times, and all our toilets on the property are compost toilets. And this is one of the toilets here. This is a Nature Loo compost toilet here. It has a seat on it. This is just a lid for transportation. And what happens with this material, we put it into a pile to decompose, and we leave it on that pile after we've stopped adding to it for 12 months to decompose and to break down and to remove the pathogens. And then after it's gone through that process, we then will put that around fruit trees and tree systems. We won't put it to the garden, just in case there is still an issue with the pathogens. What we have over here behind us is this big grassy pile here is a pile that has been, of the Humanure, that has been left, and it's about 9 or 10 months old. And as you can see, it's getting a little bit overgrown. We don't want to go in there and manage and maintain that because it is Humanure, and so the least we can handle it, the better. And as you can see, it's not very well maintained, I guess is a word. It's because it's not maintained at all, so it gets into a bit of chaos. This pile here is only 6 months old, recently been added to, and you can see the grass is moving on in and going to overtake, and we have a fence around it. The fence has temporarily been pulled down. We have a fence around it to keep the animals out of it, but we have African toads that get into here and dig through it, and the mice, and the dogs will get in there, and so we wanted to make it a bit more presentable. And so we moved on and we just made this here. We call it the Humanure bank, and this is vault 1. So what we're going to do is fill this vault with the Humanure, so it's going to manage and maintain it better. It's going to be held in an area so it's not spreading everywhere. The toads won't be able to get in it, the dogs won't be able to get into it, and people won't wander into it not knowing what it is, and it won't need to be weeded. And also, when in our climate we have here, we have a lot of rain at times. We had 3-4 weeks ago, we had 300 mil of rain over 2 days, so that's quite a bit, a foot of rain in 2 days. And so that lot of rain going on here might be causing effluent to seep out of the pile. Well, now we've gone to put a roof over the top. Not finished, of course, we're still in the process of doing that. But this roof will stop the water getting into it when on those heavy rainfall events, and then we won't have effluent issues coming out of it. It does need moisture for the decomposition, and we can put a hose in there to moisten it up of time, but at least we'll be able to control that, whereas the heavy rain we can't control it. And we've gone and had a go at doing thatch. We haven't done thatch before, and we've seen a couple of examples in some of our travels, with volunteers and myself on our travels. So we've had a bit of a practice our first time with thatch. We've used vetiver grass here. It's a very good grass. I use it for mulch, I use it for soil rehabilitation, for stopping erosion, for edges on my garden, to stop weeds getting into my garden. But now we're thinking we've found maybe another use for it, and we've put the vetiver grass on here. We don't know how long it's going to last, how soon it'll need to be replaced, but that's a little experiment in process, and hopefully we'll get 4 or 5 or 6 years out of it. I grow a lot of it. I've got several hundred metres of vetiver grass in rows on edges, and so we can use that for this process. We've already just started adding into here. This is a large area for a Humanure pile. I'm not sure what to call it. It's like a big bin, so we've named it the vault. And we'll have more of these go up the hill, because once this is full we'll need to start on another one, and it's made so that we can add to it as we go up the slope. The piles that are there will be removed, put into the food forest, and this will be filled up, and then we'll add more onto it. The idea on the front here is these planks slide in the front here, and we come up, as we fill up, they come up and hold material into there. As I mentioned, we haven't finished. We've still got several panels of vetiver to put on the top and the ridge cap, and to finish trimming off the overhang. But she's pretty close to being ready to go. So what we've tried to achieve here is to be a little bit more professional. If we were just a small family, your Humanure pile would be a lot smaller. But because we can have up to 20 people at times here, maybe more, it gets added to quite quickly, and so this is just going to give us a little bit more control on what's happening with the Humanure. It's a little bit more aesthetically as well, without the mess behind us, so it's going to be easier to manage, easier to maintain. It won't take much to maintain this. It's all recycled timber, obviously a bit of concrete and a bit of brand new hardware, but all recycled timber. So minimal impact, and really noticed the difference when we started working on the vetiver, that we had hardly any tools. All we were using was a rice knife and a pair of secateurs was the only tools that we really used. We've used about 400 or 500 metres of string, which is sisal, a natural string, which will decompose over time, but hopefully not as fast as the vetiver. So let's see how this goes. We've got a course, PDC course, Permaculture Design Certificate course, starts tomorrow. So we'll have 15 students here, plus volunteers and ourselves, and so we'll see how much gets added to this, and I'm sure the students will be quite interested to see the process, and I think they'll appreciate putting the material in here more than dumping it into a pile. Thank you.